More than 100 cases have now been confirmed. The origin and extent of the outbreak are being investigated. Even in countries that have demonstrated the ability to suppress transmission, countries must stay alert to the possibility of resurgence. Last week, China reported a new cluster of cases in Beijing after more than 50 days without a case in that city. More than 100 cases have now been confirmed. The origin and extent of the outbreak are being investigated.
Beijing is a large city and a very dynamic and connected city, so there's always a concern. And I think you can see that level of concern in the response of the Chinese authorities. We are tracking that very closely. Our country office, and remember, we do have a team in China that's actually based in Beijing. Our country office there is led by our country representative, Dr. Gauden Galea, and we have a number of epidemiologists permanently embedded in our Chinese office and work on a day-to-day basis with colleagues at the National Health Commission, at the China CDC, and at CDCs all around China. We have offered further assistance and further support as it is needed, and we may be supplementing our country office team with more expertise in the coming days as the investigation develops, and are working directly with colleagues again at China CDC on some of the more important findings like genetic sequencing and other investigations that will be important to understand the origin and spread of this disease. Priya?
Thank you so much for taking my question. Dr. Tedros, a few weeks ago you mentioned about the relationship with the United States is not only about the money, but the cooperation between WHO and the United States. But is United States still a member of WHO at this point, since we are about to have the deadline that President Trump has mentioned, the 30-day deadline this week? Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes, the United States is still a member state of the World Health Organization. Thank you.
Honestly, personally prefer if we don't constantly go back and start to re-legislate issues that have occurred months and months ago.
Dr. Tedros, the Chinese government yesterday issued a white paper on fighting COVID-19, detailing all its efforts, fighting the coronavirus. I'm wondering if WHO has any comment on this. Thank you.
I think at this point, when any country publishes an evaluation of their response, that's always a good thing to see what lessons are there to be learned. But I do think we need to focus moving forward, and it's interesting in that paper and in many other papers coming out at country level. We need to focus now on what we're doing today to prevent second peaks. We need to focus now on how we're going to prepare for later in the year. We need to focus now on supporting those countries around the world who are right in the middle of very severe epidemics that are getting worse. So I think there will be a time to go back and look at everything we've done. Everybody at every level, from global to national to subnational, from technical to political to scientific, all of the decisions, all of the actions taken at all levels by all players in this response need to be examined, and we need to learn, and we need to emerge from this pandemic stronger. But right now, we need to focus the narrative, and we need to focus the discussion on what we're doing now. What are we learning moving forward? And clearly there are many positive lessons to be learned from the experience of many countries, and that's what we are focusing on right now. Learning what we can, where countries have got it right, where countries have got it wrong, and how we can find the package of interventions. What is the package? And Maria spent a few minutes earlier laying out what those activities are, and that's what we need to focus on. Does every country on this planet have the capacity to implement those core functions in terms of community education, in terms of surveillance, in terms of the healthcare system. Do we have that capacity to sustain a response against this disease until we have an effective vaccine or even beyond? And I think that's where we would like to focus. We will read the documents from China, as we do from all countries, with interest to learn lessons. But I would honestly, personally prefer if we don't constantly go back and start to re-legislate issues that have occurred months and months ago and prevent us from moving forward to do the most important work we have to do.